Hello everyone, welcome to Fabulous on Friday. I'm Tosca Di Matteo, founder of Tosca Coaching and Consulting, and as promised, if you've been following along, you know that for the summer, I'm doing Fabulous on Friday instead of or in addition to Feisty on Friday, depending on the mood. So it's all about celebration and honoring all that we are, and I'm so excited to have my two bestest friends with me today, who you also saw perhaps on Talk About It Tuesday earlier this week. So, welcome. Hey, Karen, good to see you here, girl. All right, so Lina, Aisha, give us. Hold on,
God.
we need.
All that head action.
Oh yeah, all the head action is happening because we're Fabulous on Friday, Karen. And I want you to tell me, meaning Lina and Aisha and Karen, join in on the fun. Mm-hmm. What is your most fabulous trait that you celebrate every day?
Oh shit.
You're asking us?
Yes, all of us. We're all going to answer. I get to go last.
My sense of humor.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fabulous about me.
Thank you, Karen. You are fabulous too. But I want you to answer too. What's your fabulous trait that you want to celebrate? How about you, Ish?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay, well, I will go, and then I'll give you one if you can't think of one.
There you go.
One of my favorite fabulous traits is, I would say, levity, keeping things light even when it's dark. Okay, you've bought some time for Isha. Great. I dance like no one is watching, and I don't care.
Oh.
Yes, that's a good one. All right, Isha, give it to me. What you got?
I sing like nobody's listening.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes. You know, this makes me think of, like, I think it gets really hard to celebrate ourselves, to celebrate, like, where we are in our lives. And I think the summer is a time where we get to kind of take some time and breathe. And I think, there's that expression, right, that's like, my flaws are fabulous, but really I don't think there are any flaws. The flaws are kind of according to some societal standard, right? Like, that's kind of, to me, how I think about, flaws being fabulous. But
what is a flaw to you might not be a flaw to somebody
fair
else.
and
So...
Truth. Yes. So, I think that, it makes me think of too that sometimes, like, the hardest things that we've been through create, like, our superpowers.
Yes.
And so I think about the last. Oh, by the way, wait, can we get this out of the way? Cheers, ladies. Karen, do you have something in your hand? Like, look, this is NA, however you want to do it. Okay, there's no forced drinking here. We happen to have Bloody Marys. But, you do you.
Yeah.
No pressure on the drinking realm. Virgin Bloody Marys are also amazing. Hey, Michael, welcome. Another former guest of Talk About It Tuesday. He talked about authenticity. So excited to have you here. Michael, now that you're on water, okay, hydration is important for fun. Michael, we're talking about, like, what fabulousness we are celebrating about ourselves. Oh, fancy water. Okay, is that like Pellegrino? Are we like sparkling it up on a Friday? What?
I love Pellegrino.
Yes. So, Michael, feel free to join in and say, like, what fabulousness about yourself you want to celebrate. So actually, in that realm, I am curious, right? Like, do you ladies often celebrate your fabulousness? Like, how, like, do you pause to, like, honor yourselves in that way? Like, is that something that you do? I'm very curious.
I do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't do it before.
Yes, you're prompting me to do it because I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
I think that, it's good to think about what makes you fabulous. And you're always more prone to think what makes you, like, full of flaws.
Yes.
So, like this question, that I think that's why we felt so out of base, like, because you're not used to talk about how fabulous you are.
Yeah.
Or the fabulous things about you. For example, I am a fabulous cook.
Yes.
And what makes me fabulous is that I do it with love.
Right, and by the way, we are going to be the beneficiaries of a Colombian breakfast in the morning. So maybe we'll capture some photos and throw that on Instagram story. And yes, Michael, you were like the universe made sure that you were here so that you can celebrate your fabulousness. Oh yeah, you want one of those drinks? Yeah, Ryan made them, for us because he's fabulous too. And he's fabulous at making beverages. But yes, like I think we don't. And I think especially this time of year, there can be a lot of shaming versus celebrating our bodies, for beach season. And, I think there's a lot of breaking down of taboos right now with all of that, with what's going on. And thank God for that.
Yeah. And you're also making me think that we don't invest the time to tell other people how fabulous they are. It's like, we're always more inclined to see the bad in people or the wrong or and we don't take the time to appreciate and tell other people how fabulous they are.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, when we pause and take a moment to be in the moment and to realize who we're around, it can be so powerful, even, at the checkout stand, even just in the day-to-day interactions, like just honoring people. And making them feel seen, I think is really powerful. By the way, Ryan over there, he's way over there, way off screen. And Ryan, you have a fan. Karen says you're fabulous. I think she joined in on your Talk About It Tuesday. And so I think she saw your light there.
She knows it when she sees it.
Yes. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Karen says, I'm so happy for the younger generations that are pushing against old, tired notions of who is worthy of being called fabulous. Yes. I wish these things were... I'm going to take a picture because, these comments aren't saved. So let's take a... Yeah, we're capturing that, Karen. We're totally capturing that. Okay. Yeah, Michael's celebrating his soul and coming from a space of love. Yes. More of that, please. Yeah, so I'm curious, what's been one of the hardest things for you to celebrate about your fabulous over your life? What's been the hardest thing to say, I accept this in me and I honor this and now I can actually celebrate it, where maybe in the past you have denied it or shamed it or shunned it?
I'm going to refer to one of the conversations we were having earlier today. I think that as a mother, I am always so focused on what I am not doing good as a mother or what my children are lacking or the mistakes I've made, rather than actually celebrating what a fabulous mother I am. So that...
Yes, cheers to being a great mom. We both know that you are. You have 2 children, graduated from college, one from master's. They're doing well. How about you, Aisha? Do you have anything that you're celebrating now that took you a long time to celebrate?
Well, overcoming what I've overcome, right? Like sometimes you're focusing on what you've lost or focusing on how things didn't work out, or oh my gosh, I've been through all of this, why have I gone through this, it's so difficult. It's just like, I don't know, I've come to a certain level of peace with who I am and where I am, and so I celebrate just being alive. Shit. Oh, it's Friday. Feisty.
Oh, girl, I swear Friday. Up and down on this platform. You know that there is... Yeah, this is not made for children.
Shit.
F-bombs, you name it. Okay. Welcome, Miriam. So nice to see you here. We are talking about why we're fabulous. So if you want to pop in the comments, what fabulousness you're celebrating, that would be awesome. We'd love to celebrate with you. And I think one of the things that I felt a lot of shame about for a lot of years was actually being a type 1 diabetic. And I think in the past several years, I've started to embrace that as me, having superpowers and dealing with something that is so emotional, so psychological, that not a lot of people understand. So now I kind of own that as this is something very unique that is part of what I deal with. And so that makes me even stronger because of it, I think. Karen is saying my body and what it can do.
Preach, sister.
I've had some
preach.
earthly angels who have helped me embrace my curves and the way my body moves.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Going
yes.
back to the dancing, right? You know, and it's funny. I just want to say, you know, when we talk about having fun this weekend, we really set that as an intention. We talk about like sisterhood and just being together. We started our day working out together and honoring our bodies in that way.
We did.
And now we are choosing to have fun with what we're putting in our bodies. So it's like, it's all that balance, right? It's
Yeah,
just like,
and don't forget to feed Lina.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
This right here.
When
You
she's
cannot
hungry.
let her get hungry. It is not
Yeah.
a game.
Okay, we need to get her like, don't come around me if I'm hangry, like that.
Yeah,
whole,
yeah,
like,
seriously.
yeah.
We need a hangry sign.
We
for
need
her.
like a red and green light. Like
Yeah,
I'm
seriously.
full.
We need
I'm
like a
hungry.
temperature. We need like a
A
temperature,
temperature,
right?
yeah.
Like
Well, I am fabulous that way.
Okay, hey, cheers to that. We are yes, all of that. You know, and I think that unfortunately, so often, what makes us different is what we're shamed for in our lives. You know, whether it's as
Yeah,
kids,
that's
you're
true.
called out for being
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
You're fabulous is fucking stuffed. It's like
Yeah.
pushed down, right? And like, and even now, you know, everything coming to the surface and real conversations being had about the differences that we have in the workplace, you know, and how can we celebrate them and honor what makes us different versus wanting everybody to fit into some, you know, lowest common denominator, right mode. So, or she becomes a gremlin. Yeah. So absolutely. She became a
gremlin,
yeah.
honey, dragon.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
you know, I think that I'm just thinking about this.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you might be not that open to recognize yourself because you are afraid to sound arrogant or to, you know, and I think that the difference is that when you think that you're better than others, then you're arrogant.
It comes off.
Yeah.
It
But
comes
when
off that
you
way.
really can appreciate yourself from a place of self-love,
Yep.
Yeah.
then it's when you really can appreciate how fabulous you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make you arrogant.
No.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that conversation of like arrogance, especially with women, is especially touchy, right? Because we're told we have to be nice to be accepted, to be welcomed, right? And so we're very, I think, careful about how we are presenting ourselves because there's consequences
Right.
if we're not exactly the way
Right.
society thinks that we ought to
Right.
be,
Right.
and you know, I'm curious how that's played out for you two, like in terms of honoring your differences in spaces of sameness. Like how have you been able to get to the point where you can be loud and proud about what makes you different in your spaces? Like,
Well, I live it every day with this accent.
yeah.
You know, I have to be in peace with this accent and, you know, and celebrate how special it makes me, and it gets me free drinks sometimes. So, you know, yeah. So I think that it's the moment that you learn that it makes you different and special and no less than other people, and because you have an accent or it's your second language or you're from another country, another culture, you deserve less. You know, if you work hard and if you give your best, then, you know, you should have the space to celebrate your fabulousness and accept, you know, that difference makes you special.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's
How about
true.
you, Isha?
I think that
I love Lina's accent, Karen says.
uh,
And she finds self-love contagious and arrogance is the opposite. I agree. Yeah.
it is. I think that I've learned to not just give a fuck, right? I think that especially being black, being a woman, and then I speak up for myself, I speak up for others, and I have an honesty about me. And so I do have to be careful at work, right, when I'm speaking up. But within the last year, I've been like, you know what? Fuck it. because what I'm speaking is truth, and that's what I think I've come to the realization is how you perceive this is your problem. This is my truth, and this is what I need to do in order, one, to feel safe, or to make someone else feel safe, or to address an elephant in the room, or address whatever problem being, that is present that others don't want to recognize. You know, that's part of my fabulousness, right? Where I am honest and I am able to speak the truth. And I think what I've come to, especially after 40, is I gives no, right? It's like some things need to be
Wait until
said.
you get to 50.
Right, listen. I'm like, some things need to be said and some things need to be cleared up, and some people need to be called out. Some people need to be called in, and some people need to be called out.
Yes.
And so at times when I'm ready, I'm calling folks out, and then or when it's necessary to call people in with love. So
Well, that is called carefrontation. You don't
Okay.
confront, you care from.
oh, okay.
You come from a place of love.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
okay.
that's it.
All
Okay,
right.
I like this new
I appreciate
term.
that.
Karen says yes. Stand and speak your truth. Getting chills over here, and right on the cusp of 50, and looking forward to a hey girl. Cheers to that.
Yeah,
It's a big
you know what?
milestone.
Actually, when I turn 50, it's when I dare to call myself fabulous for the first time.
Ah.
When I made the theme of my birthday 50 and fabulous.
Yes.
That was the first time I gave myself permission to call myself
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah.
So, and now it's down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, and I think it's amazing when you can get to the point and own it,
Yeah.
and I think, with the work that I do as a coach and consultant, when I receive compliments, right, and they're like deep, right, they're like, when I am told that I touched somebody or I changed their life or I change a perspective or help them change a perspective or change a behavior, like I have to sit there and say to myself, yeah, I am magical, like and own it, and say I am magic because I know that my clients are magical. We are all magical, and so how can I claim that for them if I can't own it for myself? So it's been a real journey of being able to look at myself in the mirror and say, yeah, like not everybody can do this, and this is part of my superpower, and this is part of my magic, and I think. And sometimes I'm even amazed at how people receive me, right? Where it's like, oh, that gets reflected, right? And like people see your magic when you can own it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you attract people to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it's
the law-
jobs or relationships.
It's the law of vibration.
Yeah.
When you vibrate, you receive the same vibration.
Yeah.
It's the law of vibration.
You attract what you put out.
Exactly.
Yes.
And going back to what Aisha was saying about like being more authentic and more honest, and you've always you've heard me say that the job that I have now is the best company that I've ever worked for. Is my best job. But you know what? I think that they're getting the best Lina. Because and that's why it's so, because I arrived into this job even through the interview process being so honest
Yes.
and authentic and not giving the corporate answers.
Right.
Lina answered every question.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now that I have been working there for 2 years,
Yes.
they get Lina. They
Yes.
don't get a corporate person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have been celebrated for being direct, for not being shy, for being a straight shooter. And I wasn't like that in my 30s.
Yeah.
Or because I was afraid and I was so dictated by what other people were
Right.
expecting to hear from me.
Right.
So I think that this has also been my best job because they've gotten the
Best you.
best
Yeah.
the best me, the more authentic version and the more self-confident version of me. So
That's powerful.
And Karen is like, oh yeah, y'all dropping gems. You absolutely are dropping gems. And this is exactly what I say to I just finished up a group coaching series, that was shift your energy to find work you love, because it ain't about your resume. It ain't about your freaking LinkedIn profile. It's about your vibration. It's about are you standing in your truth? Can you own all of you, the parts you love and the parts you don't love? And I think that's play this over and over again. I can't wait to share this with my clients because I think it's a message they need to hear over and over and over again. And I'm curious, Aisha, about you, in terms of your journey in being able to like stand in all of your like talents at work. I know it's been a journey for you, but where do you feel like you are in your career right now with like your comfort level of just showing up and being like, I'm enough just walking into this room?
Yeah, I have to say, well, you know, teaching I love, and I authentically show up in my classes. My students love me. They love the way I teach. They love my teaching style because I come, you know, I tell them, listen, we're all human. As long as we're able to communicate with each other, we can get through this semester pretty unscathed, right? Just, and ultimately do what the hell I tell you to do, right? But outside of that, it's funny because I took a leadership coaching certification program, and you know, I was very nervous going into it because of the way it was set up, and I was supposed to be a faculty coach, right? And I'm like, I am not comfortable being a faculty coach, being in the role as learning in a certificate program, right? But also, you know, being, they put you in these coaching circles and I'm the one that provides feedback, right? And I'm like, but I don't know anything about coaching. I don't know what I'm doing, right? And they're like, no, yes, you do. If, you know, you're faculty, you do. And I'm like, okay, if you say so, right? And the feedback I got based on the feedback I would give the group, oh my gosh, everybody was so appreciative of how I gave the feedback, what type of feedback I gave, and it showed me, like, again, fabulousness didn't even know I had, right?
Yeah,
you know, like, oh wow, that's another skill that I have, didn't know I had, and it's in us. And so, you know, when they say everything that we need is already in us, it's absolutely true.
Amen.
It's just about showing sun to those different things, and the only way you can do that is by stepping outside of your comfort zone and trying something new, right? And just being open and free with it. And it's like, you know what, it is what it is, you're gonna get what you get. And it was a lovely experience. The people were great. Learning more about myself was great, and those opportunities you learn about yourself. And so yeah, it was outside of teaching, right? But technically I coach every day.
Right.
I coach students.
You coach your friends. You're always giving counsel.
Exactly, right?
And you're in a sorority and like alumni, and like you're always helping people.
We have our own experiences that we have. And this is what we don't do, I think, as women, is we don't give credence, we don't give light to, like, who we are, what we're good at, what our talents are. That's what it is. Yeah. What our talents are, right? And, you know, there's the Clifton Strengths Finder, where you find out what your top, you know, what your strengths are. And it comes from a place where you have lower strengths, but it doesn't mean that you're, you know, there's still strengths, right? Yeah. And so there's still opportunity to build those strengths. It's just, you know, that you're better at other things. And I have to say that as women, we don't give ourselves enough to shine those talents. Like, this woman is, you know, a mother alone can run a fucking Fortune 500 company. Right? A mother alone, she runs a household, right? She runs her children. She keeps her children organized, right? She educates them on a daily basis. She teaches them about the good things and shows them the good things in themselves, right? You know, and that's a mother. And then she has a real job that she does. Right, and she's fabulous at that, right? And then it's like me, I don't have kids, but I am a mother, right? My students oh my gosh,
they become like your children.
They do. I'm like, listen, are y'all getting enough sleep? Okay. And at the end of the semester, I said, listen, y'all worked hard this year. Enjoy the summer. Take some self-care. So, you know, open up, right? I think in general, that's where we are as a society right now, which we got to be open, authentic, providing empathy to people, providing grace to people, allowing people to be who they want to be, how they want to be.
You know, every year, for the past 3 years, it's something very recent, but for the past 3 years, I choose a word to be my north every year. And in 2019, which was a difficult year for me, that year I chose openness. Being open to, people, opportunities. And that was a year that was so transformative. I found this job that I adore, moved to another city. I programmed myself from the beginning of the year to guide me by openness that year. So I totally agree with you that you have to be open. And I also think you said so many things, Aisha, that but we take ourselves for granted.
Oh my gosh.
All the time.
Oh my gosh.
All the time. And the other day I was having a conversation with my son, and I'm jumping to different subjects, but it's because my brain is... I was having this conversation with my son, and I said, you would never know the flavorful of a tea and the color of a tea until you put it in hot water.
Sister! Yes.
Don't be afraid to jump into hot water.
There was a show that said that. The show was like, women are like tea bags.
Right, yes.
You put them in hot water. Exactly.
But I think that goes for everybody.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to jump into the hot water. It will bring your flavor and your color.
Well, that's fear. Yeah. Allowing fear to dictate your life.
Yeah.
Right? What is there to be scared of? And it's almost like, are you scared of succeeding and being great? Are you scared of being great and amazing? Right? And sometimes I think that is truth and we don't realize it.
Yeah. Because it's not what it's so subconscious sometimes.
Yeah.
And Karen is wondering, I love this. She's like, I'm not a mom of humans, but I'm an auntie of many children. Yes. And you know what? I feel like if I had children, I couldn't do nearly as much as I do in terms of the breadth of people that I'm able to touch,
But you don't have to be a mother to be a mother.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. How we define mother is so limited. It's like, it's needs to be more expansive.
I have a sister that decided not to have children, and she's been a mother to all of her nieces and nephews.
Absolutely.
With the utmost generosity and love.
Because she still has love to give.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be a mother to be a mother.
Listen, I'm tired. Listen, I'm part of a group on Facebook. Sorry.
Rich Auntie Supreme vibes.
Talk about it, girl. Aunties, the fun aunties. We're the ones, we get to take them out, have a good time, spoil the shit out of them, and take them back home.
And Karen wants to know, this is a good question. What has been the most surprising strength you have unearthed recently? I am one, and Karen, and I'd love for you to also let us know for you. And Sparrow, if you're still in the house, share. So.
Well, I am going to go back at your invitation to talk about it Tuesday, a few months ago, when you invited me to talk about resilience. It's not a new discovered power of me, but I never acknowledged it until you invited me to talk about it and gave me the space to call it my superpower. So I think that there's not necessarily something new. There's maybe something in you that you have not acknowledged or recognized.
Oh, yes.
Or totally owned it.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh, yeah. How about you, Aisha? Is there something recently that you've...
Recently?
Yeah. Maybe through the COVID experience has something come to the surface.
Yeah, I think one superpower I enjoy that I didn't really appreciate is my ability to be by myself. And have fun. Look, I pick the best movies. I pick the best wine. I tell the funniest jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else would I want to hang out with but myself, right?
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I discovering, being so I'm single. I'm child free. I have a cat. Right? So I'm a cat mom. And being 40s. Being single and child free, wow, let me tell you something. The pressure that you and the judgment that you get, and the stereotypes that come your way, and I just sat in it I appreciated the fact that I didn't have 2 to 3 to 4 children in my household driving me nuts during the pandemic. Okay, I was so happy with that superpower.
Homeschooling. What about homeschooling?
Girl,
Oh my God.
I'm glad all I had to do was educate people
yeah.
virtually. I didn't have to feed nobody in my house except for my cat. Like, you know, I think that's, you know what, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Just not accepting, but choosing happiness with where I am and who I am right now, right? And so it is like,
You know what?
I have a friend who we had a discussion, and I said, you know what, y'all, I'm happy. I'm really happy. And she wasn't. And she said, I'm not happy. She said, I thought I would have kids. I thought I would have a husband right now. And I felt so bad for her, right? And then I was like, shit, I'll tell you what. My ass, I don't need no husband. I don't need no kids. Doesn't mean I don't want one.
But she
right?
is
So
open
folks,
to dating,
I'm free.
right?
Hold on, folks, I'm free.
Okay.
I own my own house, right? So doesn't mean that I don't desire that. But what it means is that I have found peace
Exactly.
and
That's
happiness
Yes.
with where I am.
Yeah.
And hallelujah, praises.
Yeah.
I love
By
it.
the way, I'm also in the market just in case.
I love how this is going to
But
be a
I'm more
dating.
important.
This is now
Right.
going to turn into dating on Friday
It should be.
with
It's
Tosca's friends.
Flirty on Friday. Flirty on
Yeah, that's the
Friday.
next one.
And she's going to have a new contestant every Friday this whole summer.
I love it. Ryan, do you want to make a cameo over here?
Nope.
Radical agency in your own life is beautiful. Yeah. What a
But
great
you know what?
sentiment.
We have been so predetermined with the pursuit of happiness.
Oh.
That's even in the Constitution.
I have a shirt that says that. I actually bought
Yeah,
it.
but happiness is just a moment.
Yeah. It's every moment. It's every moment.
No,
But I
but
think-
not necessarily.
I think-
You cannot be happy all the time.
Right.
No, you can't.
You can't.
But
Because it's like if you plug your finger into a 220 voltage thing. You cannot be happy all the time.
I'm happy I might be
No,
alive
that's
after
true.
that.
I think that it's a matter of getting into a stage in your spiritual development of acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And that means knowing that people are doing the best that they can with that they
Right.
have.
Yeah.
That you are in the place where you need to be, whether it's what you consider good or bad.
Yeah.
That everything that comes from a place of love comes back full of love.
Right.
So when you get to that moment of acceptance that that is your reality, that that's who you are, that then is when you're in peace and you are fulfilled. And then
also-
happiness is the moment that you go and buy that expensive person.
You're so funny.
You know?
I also
That-
think that happiness is within.
Yeah.
You find happiness within. We sometimes are looking for people to make us happy or looking for happiness outside of us. But I really do think, wholeheartedly with my whole soul, is that once we love ourselves, truly know how to love ourselves, because we talk about this self-love and people just throw it around. But when you truly love who you are, no matter where you are, who you are, when you are, right, you're just like, yo, this is me and I love me. That's that happiness within.
Yeah.
And
But-
other things attract.
Yeah.
You will attract more happiness. You will attract more people that are settled and at peace with who they are and themselves.
Yes.
And then you come with this, and then this happens. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, Karen's wanting a transcript of this.
Oh, wow.
But you know, Aisha has mentioned the word journey
Yeah.
many times,
Yeah.
and it is a journey.
Yeah.
And self-love is a journey, and it is okay to go back and hate yourself and come back again.
Yeah.
You know, because
it's part of the process.
it's
right?
only, but to me, and I was having this conversation with my coach once, that when dark Lina or low Lina is around, I cocoon and I retract, and I needed to learn to love that dark and low Lina, because it's in that darkness when the higher Lina and the enlightened Lina comes out.
Yes.
Out of that. So it's a journey. Self-love is a journey.
It is.
And you don't have to be happy all the time
Right.
or love yourself all the time.
Right.
Just be mindful, aware, and present in that journey of learning how to love yourself.
I agree, and I think something just kind of going back to being in the moment, and I agree, like we can't be happy every moment, and that's just like baloney, and that's toxic positivity. But I think what happens is when we are constantly looking at the future and what we want, and then looking at where we are, and then like judging that, then if we're not just being in the moment and saying, in this moment, I'm okay.
So
Like,
literally,
I heard someone once say, and this is a little bit gross, but I don't care. That people have one foot in the past, thinking about the past, and the other foot in the future, worry about the future. So what you have in the present is your ass, and you're crapping in your present.
Oh my God.
I love that.
Can we just like pause on that for a minute?
Can we not? Because that image is stuck.
But isn't it true?
It is true.
Okay.
I remember one day when I realized in a moment that I was happy. Remember I was driving. I was in Buffalo. I was driving, and I was singing, and the thing was open, and it had been a long time since I was like humming and singing, and I was driving. I was like, oh shit. I said, I think I'm happy. Right? Swear to God.
You're happy.
Swear to God, I was like, is this happiness? 'Cause I think I'm happy right now.
Yeah, that's
right? And so we got to pay attention, folks. We got to pay attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love, Karen, I'm so glad to hear that your journey of respecting yourself in a deep way, like, wow, like, to loving yourself. I mean, it is such a huge accomplishment, and
especially in today's time.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're bombarded with images and expectations of what a woman should be, how she should be acting, what she should be doing, what she should be wearing. Listen, sister, you figured it out.
Karen,
girl.
where are we getting together? Where do you live, by the way? Like, are you in the New York City area?
I think
come
you
on,
need
let's
to just
hang.
invite Karen. Like,
I know.
invite Karen to the conversation.
I know. I'm like, you want to come on the show? Come on. Like, we'll get you on. There's no judgments here. Bring your sparkling water, whatever fancy water
I know.
you got. Yeah, that's right. Karen says, because you were singing like no one was listening. Wow, she's been paying attention.
Yeah.
Been paying attention. Yeah, and I'm going to ask, Chelsea. Oh, hey, girl. All right. Like, that's it.
Hey, girl, hey. Hey, girl, hey.
I used to live in Chelsea. 23rd and 7th, actually. Anyway, I was going to answer my own question, too, going far back. Or not my own question, carrying the question you asked, which was, I think recently I accepted my fabulousness in being grounded. Like, I've been told a lot of different times, like, especially in the coaching, right, like, that I have a grounding energy, and as a Virgo and fire energy and all that, like, it's true, and how valuable that is. Not everybody has that connectedness to self, to ground, to reality, to this, this moment. So I think that's something that I've really been able to, like, honor in this past year, and I'm so glad that we're bringing you into the weekend. That's what this is all about. Fabulous on Friday is about, like, how do we, like, transition and let everything go and just celebrate ourselves and love life. Yes. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we did it. I feel like we got to finish our drinks, y'all. We might have to, like, cut this one.
Yeah, because I'm getting hungry.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah, we can't risk this.
I'm the second worst hungry person. She's the first.
Karen, thank you. I appreciate that. That was I'm glad that you were audience for that. I gave a talk at the Now that she watched, and yeah, all my rawness. But yeah, like, pizza time over here. Okay. With that, listen, Karen, it's so...
I can eat pizza every day of my life,
But
Karen.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to thank you because you.
Thank you, BFF.
Yes, I want to thank you because you're so generous, and you always open these spaces for self-searching conversations and for meaningful conversations, and you have gifted me with so many memories that are in in my Reach account of relationships. So this is the season finale, and I cannot let you go without saying that I'm truly thankful.
I agree. I agree.
Truly
I love my
thankful.
BFF.
I love you guys. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I love this. Can I just like hold on to the
And that's how quickly it goes.
the count. I love the terminology. The count. the count of your relationships, right?
Yes,
Like the wealth
yes.
of your relationships. I love that. Virtual hugs.
I
to
learned
you
that
too,
in a
Karen.
book that I just read.
Big virtual hugs for Karen. Yeah, I knew it came from that book. Anyway, yeah, enjoy having your pizza. And for y'all watching after the fact, holler at me, put in the comments like what you're celebrating about your fabulous. And I'm so blessed to have spent time with you ladies and with my husband too. And yeah, I'm just excited to roll into 4th of July, celebrating our
Sweet.
fabulousness, independence,
Yes.
and joy.
Yes.
Yes. Mwah. Love you
Mwah,
guys.
mwah.
Thank you.
Ciao for now.
All right, what's some